Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
So glad you're all here. My name is Miranda Clendening. I'm the moderator for this panel. I'm a Parliament of World Religions Ambassador for the last 3 years and grew up heavily in the interfaith world. The title of our presentation is Climate Change Solution, the Trust Frequency Indigenous Cosmology Meets Quantum Science. Super exciting subject and amazing people I get to be here with. I've known Andrew and Connie for a long time, and other amazing leaders here, Sally Ranney and Kevin Deer. So later on, as each one is about to present, I'd like to share their more in-depth bio with you at that time. But the basic premises of our presentation today is about the trust frequency, 10 assumptions for a new paradigm. Connie and Andrew will describe how they can engage your left brain, right brain, heart, and spirit with ceremony, meditation, and information to catalyze a new perspective on the conscious, loving, abundant nature of the universe, humanity's place in it, and our influence on the world around us. Quantum science, combined with the wisdom carried by our indigenous relatives and our own inner knowing, gives us the ability to choose and consciously create our reality. So we aim to give you tools and inspiration and help open your hearts to solutions and things you can do in your own life that will help change your life. When I read the book of the Trust Frequency, it changed my life. It's one of the top books that I give out to people now that are in my world, my family, my friends. It gave me languaging on a subject that before that I didn't have languaging for. I felt it in my soul and my heart, a trust frequency, but I didn't have the languaging. And the beautiful way in which they explain this, and Andrew's scientific mind, and the tools that they give you on what assumptions we can have in the world that are so much more true instead of assumptions that we might have been raised with and patterning that we're having to get over to rise into this greater trust frequency. It's been a beautiful part of my life. So I'd like to welcome up Kevin Deer first to be our first speaker. Kevin has been employed as a school teacher at the Mohawk Immersion School since 1989. He is a faithkeeper in the Longhouse and a resource person in the Iroquoian worldview, philosophy, treaties, land claims, and Native American historical perspectives. He worked for Mohawk language and spiritual revitalization for the past 36 years. In September 2015, he brought the First Nations perspective to the Bretton Woods IV convocation on economic concerns. He presented Native spirituality at the United Nations World Interfaith Harmony Week and the World Forum on Theology and Liberation in Montreal. He participated also at Standing Rock. Welcome, Kevin. Next up, we have an incredible environmental activist and true Renaissance woman, Sally Ranney, published author, public speaker, television anchor, gifted artist, pianist, composer, horsewoman, mother, wilderness guide, environmental activist, and green business strategist. She has dedicated her life to ardent advocacy to protect the genetic archives of the planet, securing conservation custody for millions of acres of wild places in the United States, Alaska, Chile, Argentina, Africa, and Canada. She worked closely with 3 U.S. presidents, Carter, appointed by President Reagan to serve on the Presidential Commission on America's Outdoors. Her experience spans 30 years in the area of land, water, and energy policy, biodiversity, wildlife protection, and climate change. She is the president and co-founder of the American Renewable Energy Institute, national board member of the National Wildlife Federation, chairwoman and co-founder of ERA, Earth Restorative Advocates, is an impact investor and CEO of Stillwater Preservation, LLC, and Wetlands Mitigation Banking Company. Her accomplishments and honors are far too numerous to mention all of them here. For more on Sally Ranney, she can share her website and everything with you. Welcome. Thank you. thank you so much. And it's hard to describe all of this in teachings of how much it affects your life when you actually grasp these new assumptions and then see the world that we live in and what we have the chance to be a part of when living from a place of faith and trust, and that the universe has our back and that we're all in this together. I personally have the 7 A's on my wall. Inside their book, they have a cute sheet of paper that has the 7 A's on there. And it's a good reminder for me to look at and just kind of go through them. And am I living those? Is that my living reality? And after years of doing that, it literally has changed my life to remember, like, I'm having a stressful day or I'm having a hard day, but living in this is so much better. And taking a deep breath into that and aligning to love and aligning to that trust frequency and having faith, and then stepping back out of that in a place of peace and understanding and knowing that it's going to get better even if you're having a stressful day. You can instantly melt that and then just walk into that love and have that alignment, and then the day is magically better already. It's energetically, we do the stress to ourselves and we don't have to. I also would love to just share the diligence of these two, of these 4 in their life work. But Andrew is about to speak about a solution for climate change, and this man is so dedicated. I mean, I love the Project Drawdown with Paul Hawken, and I'm sure a lot of people in the climate change world are very familiar with this. And he put a platform out there to try to gather solutions for what can be helped for climate change. And thousands of submissions came in, and Paul Hawken's like, oh my goodness, like, we have the solutions here on the planet. We need to publicize this. We need to get that out there. And Andrew took tons and tons of time calculating all these solutions and how much carbon they each can draw and what it can do, and then came out with the answer, we need more. We need all of this and more. And just like hearing your work of actually looking at every single solution, calculating all of this, was a huge inspiration to me to see you care that much. And I also just wanted to say that young people on our planet are getting involved hugely, and there is a lot of apathy. There is a lot of despair with kids that aren't waking up yet, but with the internet and with videos that are out there, a lot of the videos that we're seeing and posting through Unify are getting 20 million, 50 million views on climate change solutions and solutions that we can do for the climate, and it's giving these young people hope, but we need it to give everybody hope. And part of what the trust frequency talks about, and part of a blessing that we heard from Thich Nhat Hanh yesterday, and Prince EA just posted through Unify yesterday, was the most magical gift you can ever give another person is your presence, your attention. Prince EA was talking about how he even knows if a marriage is going to work after 10 minutes of conversation with a couple before they get married, when he asks them, how much time do you spend with each other, giving each other attention and giving your presence? Is that your greatest joy in life, to give each other your presence and your attention? And if it is, they'll have a successful marriage. It's the key to a successful marriage, a successful relationship, successful families. And all of us, when we become awake and in this trust frequency, show up for your kids, show up for your grandkids. The greatest thing that you can do right now is to show up and be present. Show them these videos, show them this inspiration. Be hopeful yourself. That is the greatest thing that you can do, the greatest gift you can give. And it's so little, but it means so much. So I'll introduce Andrew next to talk about your climate change solution.